What truly makes a boxer fast? Is it just the movement of their hands or something deeper? An instinct you can't train? Why do some punches seem invisible, while others come too late even at close range? And what happens when incredible speed meets doubt, pressure, and fear? Today we're diving into the history of boxing's fastest hands. And it all begins with a man whose pace destroyed opponents, but also himself. Top 1. Aamir Khan. Aamir Khan wasn't just fast. His hands moved like a machine gun, triggered by explosive fast twitch muscles and an unyielding urge to overwhelm opponents before they could even react. His combinations came in blinding flurries, often straight punches, precise and strung together without delay. This very speed allowed him to pressure even world-class opponents and control fights early on. But Khan's pace wasn't just physical. It was mental too. He believed he was faster than anyone before him. This conviction led him to take risks, open aggressively, and dominate with a high punch output. At the same time, this was his greatest weakness. Because when you attack so quickly, you also open up gaps. Khan's career showed how thin the line between overwhelming speed and dangerous vulnerability can be. His fast flurries froze opponents, but a single mistake was often enough to turn the tide. Was his speed a gift or a curse? And would a slower Aamir Khan perhaps have lasted longer? Top 2. Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. possessed a kind of hand speed that wasn't loud, not chaotic, but deadly quiet. His punches didn't come like explosions, but like clean cuts, precise, fluid, and barely perceptible. What made him special was the combination of pace and control. Every punch seemed to land exactly where the opponent wasn't prepared. His hands worked in smooth sequences, almost without visible tension. In the featherweight division, Russell often seemed faster than anyone else in the ring, not because he was frantic, but because practically no time passed between decision and execution. Opponents felt like they were constantly one step behind. Counters became impossible because his flurries were already finished before a reaction could even begin. But this speed wasn't accidental. It was based on perfect timing, compact technique, and exceptional body control. Russell wasted no movement, no punch, no moment. But a crucial question arose right here. Is pure hand speed enough if activity and risk remain limited? And what happens when speed, in the long run, meets caution? Top 3. Hector Camacho. Hector Camacho was speed in motion. His hands weren't just fast, they were part of a show, a rhythm that confused opponents and captivated spectators. Camacho punched, danced, vanished, and reappeared before his opponent understood what had just happened. His fast, stinging combinations landed precisely. Then he was already out of range. What made Camacho so special was the combination of pure hand speed and self-confidence. He loved to frustrate opponents, pepper them with quick shots, and destroy their patience. His hands seemed like lightning, perfectly attuned to his flamboyant personality. In his prime, he appeared almost untouchable because his punch output broke every opponent's rhythm. But behind the elegance, there was also a risk. Camacho's style demanded constant movement, extreme concentration, and absolute control. As soon as his pace dropped even slightly, he became vulnerable. Was his speed his greatest protection, or did it merely conceal how narrow the line between dominance and danger truly was? Top 4. Jorge Linares. Jorge Linares embodied a different kind of speed. His hands didn't seem explosive or wild, but elegant and effortless. Every punch looked technically clean, almost textbook perfect, and that's precisely what made his pace seem even faster. His combinations came clear, precise, and in short, sharp flurries that opponents often didn't notice until they had already been hit. What distinguished Linares was the perfect interplay of technique and timing. His hand speed didn't come from raw athleticism, but from control, balance, and a feel for the right moment. Especially in the lightweight division, He could dominate fights purely through clean punch sequences, without taking unnecessary risks. His hands worked like a finely tuned instrument. But this elegance came with a price. Linares' style demanded peak concentration, and the smallest mistakes could have dramatic consequences. If the timing was even slightly off, his speed lost its protective effect. Was his fluid handwork enough to last long-term? Or did it show that even perfect technique remains vulnerable against brutal reality? Top 5. Meldrick Taylor. Meldrick Taylor possessed a hand speed that seemed almost mechanical. His punches came in a constant rhythm, precise, fast, and without any visible pause in between. Opponents were practically smothered because Taylor's flurries didn't stop but flowed. Especially his combinations to the body and head kept the pressure constantly high and allowed little room to breathe. His speed wasn't just a matter of pace, but of endurance. Taylor could maintain a punch output for rounds that other boxers could only manage for short bursts. The legendary fight against Julio Cesar Chavez demonstrated exactly that. A relentless stream of fast, clean punches that pushed even one of the toughest fighters of his era to the brink. But a crucial question arose here. What does it cost to maintain this pace indefinitely? Taylor's style demanded sacrifices, both physical and mental. Was his incredible speed the key to his dominance, or the price he ultimately paid too high? Top 6. Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard combined hand speed with intelligence. His punches weren't just fast, they were planned, read, and perfectly timed. He could land individual shots with lightning speed, but his true strength lay in his combinations. When Leonard exploded, several punches came in fractions of a second and vanished just as quickly out of his opponent's reach. His speed was amplified by elegant footwork and an exceptional understanding of the ring. Leonard knew exactly when to attack and when retreating was faster than any counter. This ability allowed him to open up opponents, hit them, and punish them without taking damage himself. His fast flurries were sharp, precise, and often the beginning of the end for his adversaries. But was it really just speed? Or was it precisely the combination of pace and intellect that made Leonard so dangerous? Because his hands alone were fast, but it was his timing that transformed speed into dominance. The question remains, can raw speed without intelligence ever achieve the same? Top 7. Roy Jones. Roy Jones Jr. brought a form of hand speed into the ring that seemed almost unreal. His punches came from angles you don't train for, from movements that defied every rule. He punched with his hands low, from backward momentum, out of nowhere. And yet, he landed faster than opponents could think. His reflexes, athleticism, and creativity merged into a speed that was far ahead of its time. What made Jones unique was the freedom with which he deployed his pace. He didn't have to throw classic combinations to be fast. A single punch was often enough because it came faster than the opponent's brain could process it. And when he threw flurries, they seemed fluid, long, and absolutely uncontrollable. Opponents saw the punches, but too late. But this speed relied on perfect timing and self-confidence. When both dwindled, Jones also became vulnerable. Was his speed a natural wonder that no one could replicate? Or a risky style that only worked as long as everything came together perfectly? These 7 boxers showed that speed has many faces. Raw explosiveness, perfect technique, instinct, or pure creativity. But one question remains open. Is fast handwork alone enough to make history? Or does how smartly one uses that pace ultimately decide? If these stories have fascinated you, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and leave a like. Which of these fast hands impressed you the most?